Hey Flora members, today we're making a super easy breakfast or lunch recipe that is egg-free, dairy-free, and gluten-free. It's a eggless breakfast hash, and it's a great way to use odds and ends of veggies that are left over in your crisper in your fridge. So what I've done so far is I have sautéed some sweet potato, some cabbage, carrots, green cabbage, and purple cabbage. And super simple. You can use whatever veggies you like. You could choose low FODMAP veggies if you are on a lower FODMAP diet. And this is a great way to add plant diversity. So I talk a lot about getting in a wide variety of plants. The more variety you have in your diet, the more it creates a robust, diverse microbiome. And this is because our gut microbes feed on different types of fibers. And so the fiber from different types of plants, fruits, vegetables, legumes, they all support a nice, healthy, robust gut microbiome, and that prevents gut imbalance and bacterial overgrowth, which can drive bloating, acid reflux, digestive symptoms. All right, so what I'm now going to be adding is Belinsky's breakfast chicken sausage. And I know what you might think when you hear the word sausage. You might think, okay, that's spicy, usually pretty fatty. But chicken sausage is actually very lean. And one of my favorite brands is Belinsky's. They sell it at Whole Foods, but there's also so many different types that are very reflux friendly. And they're seasoned with things like sage. These chicken sausages are seasoned with sage. So they're super friendly, they're not spicy. And they're already pre-cooked. So if you're someone like me that just really doesn't love cooking meat, this is a great way to go around that but still have chicken. And animal proteins are rich in zinc. They're a good source of iron, of course, protein. All of these nutrients are really important for gut healing. So, I am a big fan of including, some animal proteins like chicken and turkey into my diet. But if you don't do animal proteins, you could also put this with tofu, crumbled tempeh. And I'm just really simply going to add this into my pan here. Again, so these are pre-cooked. So all you have to do is saute your veggies and then add in your chicken and let it get nice and crispy. So I want to talk a little bit more about protein while these are cooking and just getting nice and warm and toasty. Protein is super important. Oops, that was my alarm. Oops. So protein is super important for our digestive function. If we don't get enough protein in our diet, we actually can't produce enough digestive enzymes because our enzymes are made of protein. And so replenishing our body's protein stores by having 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal is a good place to be. If you're someone who's bigger or super active, you might need more, but 20 to 30 grams is typically a good place to be. And this might sound like a lot if you're not used to eating protein in your diet, but it's so important to produce those digestive enzymes and also produce stomach acid. So sometimes acid reflux is caused by stomach acid insufficiency, so not enough stomach acid. And so getting more protein in our diet can really, really help support healthy levels of stomach acid. Our gut is also a muscle. It's smooth muscle, and if we're not getting enough nutrition or enough protein, the gut can actually atrophy or not function as well. And so aiming for those 20 to 30 grams per meal is a really great way to support your gut health, support lean body mass, and also you may notice more balanced blood sugars throughout the day. A lot of my clients notice that they have, cravings, maybe not feeling satisfied after a meal, and still very hungry, after their meals. And sometimes it's because we're not getting enough protein at our meals. So, aiming for those 20 to 30 grams, you might be someone who needs more on the higher end, like 30 grams. I definitely am someone who needs more. But if you're still feeling hungry after a meal, check in with yourself. Did my meal have adequate protein and adequate carbohydrates as well, and healthy fats? Those three things are what really help to support satiety after a meal. So how do you get 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal? Well, if you think about the size of a deck of cards, that's about the size of a serving of meat that would have about 20 grams of protein. So we're thinking about a deck of card size, 1 to 2 decks of cards. And you might be someone that needs closer to two, or maybe, you're not as active. And maybe, a deck of cards of size of chicken or beef or eggs, whatever you're having, that maybe that works well for you. If you aren't someone who enjoys meat, there's also other ways to get protein in. Greek yogurt and cottage cheese are great sources of protein. They're super easy and quick. You can get them lactose free if you are lactose intolerant or on a low FODMAP diet. You can also utilize nuts and seeds, legumes to add protein to your meals. Tofu and edamame are great sources of protein and iron. All right, so this is looking good. And this would be delicious if you add a little bit of avocado. You could add some hummus on top. Kind of a nice switch from eggs if you're used to, having the same breakfast every morning. This can be a nice, different way to start the day. Lots of veggie diversity, and I do recommend cooking your veggies if you're someone that struggles with bloating or IBS. I really find that cooking your veggies is a better tolerated way to enjoy them versus raw. I also, you could top this with a little bit of cheese, really whatever you like. What I didn't mention is adding seasoning. So you could also add some reflux friendly seasonings to this, whether that's some more sage, thyme, rosemary. If you do okay with garlic powder, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of salt, some garlic infused olive oil. If you don't do well with garlic, using garlic infused olive oil is a great way to add some healthy fats. And I actually did that while I was sauteing the veggies. So the full directions for the recipe are down below. If you make this, definitely tag me on Instagram, and I'll see you at the next video.